Title: Embracing the Stoic Warrior, Marcus Aurelius on Resilience and Personal Growth. Welcome to a journey that blends the ancient wisdom of Marcus Aurelius with the modern demands of life. Over the next 5 chapters, we will uncover how the emperor philosopher's teachings on Stoicism and resilience can help us navigate stress, setbacks, and success. Let us begin. Chapter 1: The Emperor's Quiet Resolve. Marcus Aurelius was crowned emperor amid war, famine, and plague, yet he treated each of these trials as part of a larger plan. In his private journal, Meditations, he wrote that the impediment to action advances action. In other words, every obstacle is a chance to grow stronger. If you have faced a sudden job loss, an illness, or a broken relationship, Marcus would have seen that the very pain sharpens your resolve. From his own life, we learn 3 core principles that shaped his resilience. First, acceptance of the reality that we can only control our own thoughts. Second, the practice of daily reflection, reviewing actions, and adjusting course. Third, an unwavering belief that adversity refines character rather than destroys it. Applying these ideas today means starting each morning by asking, what will I control and what will I accept? And setting a small daily journal entry after each evening. For instance, if a project at work stalls, write down what you can change, perhaps a new approach to communication or a shift in resources, and what you must accept, the external pressures of deadlines or client expectations. The next morning you can move forward calmer and clearer. In conclusion, Marcus's calm endurance reminds us that a single, steadfast mindset can turn even the harshest moments into stepping stones. Remember that the only true obstacle is the one in the mind, and that the power to turn adversity into strength lies within us. If you're enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more Stoicism and resilience. Reflective question: when you encounter a setback, what part of Marcus Aurelius' principle can you apply to shift your focus from what happened to what you can do next? Chapter 2: The 5 Pillars of Stoic Resilience. Marcus's writings reveal 5 practical pillars that guided his daily life: intentionality, detachment, virtue, rationality, and community. These pillars are not abstract. They are instructions for living a life of purpose and endurance. Intentionality. He reminded himself that every action must be deliberate. During a battle, he paused to consider whether each maneuver was aligned with the larger strategy. When you're running a presentation, the same intentionality requires you to plan each point, anticipate questions, and stay present. Detachment, Aurelius wrote, when we are distracted by thoughts about the future, we lose sight of the present. He practiced detachment by focusing on what he could do now instead of worrying about tomorrow's uncertainty. In modern terms, this is akin to mindfulness. Breathing through a stressful meeting, noting the tension, then redirecting your gaze to the conversation. Virtue, for him, the highest good was living in harmony with nature and virtue. In practice, he held a strong sense of responsibility to his people, to his duties, to his own moral compass. When your own goals conflict with others' needs, choose virtue. Act with integrity, with humility, and with service. Rationality. Marcus believed that logic should rule emotion. He would scrutinize his emotions before acting, writing, or speaking. This principle suggests that before reacting to a criticism, pause, examine why it triggers you, and choose a calm response. Community. Though an emperor, he never forgot his role in the greater community. He supported the poor, respected diverse cultures, and nurtured dialogue. Today, you can model this by volunteering, lending an ear to a coworker, or building collaborative projects. Concrete example for the audience: start a 5 pillars log. Each night, record an event that tested one of the pillars, note your response, and write a short reflection. Over weeks, you'll see which pillars feel most natural and which need strengthening. To conclude, the 5 pillars aren't separate. They intertwine, supporting a resilient and purposeful life. By integrating intentionality, detachment, virtue, rationality, and community into our daily routines, we can find steady ground amid life's storms. If you're enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more Stoicism and resilience. Reflective question: which of Marcus Aurelius's 5 principles feels most out of reach for you right now, and why? Chapter 3: The Emperor's Own Resilience Stories. let us look at specific episodes that illustrate Marcus Aurelius's resilience in action. The Antonine Plague ravaged his empire and his own family. He chose to focus on maintaining the empire's stability rather than lamenting loss, writing as if he were a father admonishing himself to keep his household firm even in the face of death. Through such words, he cultivated the ability to endure without becoming consumed by despair. Another instance was his decision to appoint his adopted son, Lucius Valerius Claudius Aesopus, as his successor because Aesopus embodied the values Marcus most prized. This choice was not dictated by social convention, but by virtue, showing that practical decisions can align with Stoic principles when guided by reason and compassion. From these stories, we learn that resilience is rooted in practice. Marcus accepted the tragic realities of disease, war, and mortality, yet he continued to act with clarity and conviction. When it felt easier to retreat into a safe, comfortable, but unproductive state, he did not. He saw the battles of his life as training grounds. Today's audience can adopt his habit of rewriting difficult narratives. If your personal or professional life feels like a battlefield, imagine yourself as the wise general of your own destiny, drafting a battle plan. This mental model turns fear into strategy and stress into an opportunity to test skills. Concrete application: design a battle plan worksheet. List a current challenge, identify potential paths, evaluate resources and allies, and set specific, realistic actions. Review the plan daily, adjust as conditions change, and keep the spirit of Marcus staying calm in chaos. In short, the emperor's life shows that endurance is achieved by pairing acceptance with intentional action. The more we practice turning trials into training, the more resilient we become. If you're enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more Stoicism and resilience. Reflective question: can you think of a current battle in your life that could be reframed as a strategic opportunity following Marcus Aurelius's example? Chapter 4: Bringing Stoic Resilience into the 21st Century. Stoicism may have roots in ancient Rome, but its practical techniques are more relevant than ever. The modern world overloads our senses with news, social media, and relentless expectations. Marcus's principles provide a roadmap for managing this climate of anxiety. First, create a digital pause. Just as he would pause at the sight of a battlefield's chaos, take a moment to breathe when you see a notification that triggers upset. Notice the sensation, label the feeling, then decide whether to respond. Second, apply the practice of premeditation. Before a big meeting or interview, mentally rehearse positive and negative scenarios. This helps you stay grounded in reality, a method parallel to how Marcus trained his mind against the unpredictability of war. Third, adopt the habit of nightly reflection. Just as he looked back upon each day, evaluate your actions. Where did you act virtuously? Where did you drift onto emotional reaction? And what can you learn? Record these reflections in a journal or voice memo. Finally, integrate Stoic resilience into your relationships. Think in terms of mutual growth rather than personal win-lose. Use the intention pillar to guide conversations, ensuring you act with integrity and purpose. Concrete example: use a single page on your phone for daily Stoic exercises. Include a quote of Marcus you find inspiring. Mirror the page to your phone lock screen and set a morning alarm that prompts you to write a 2-sentence reflection. This small gesture keeps Stoic resilience front of mind throughout the day. By weaving Stoic rituals into your routines, you anchor yourself in a calm, reasoned world even as the outside world rages. The resilience you build here becomes a tool for career advancement, healthier relationships, and inner peace. If you're enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more Stoicism and resilience. Reflective question: how can you turn one daily stressor, such as a morning commute or a demanding email, into a moment that strengthens your Stoic resilience today? Chapter 5: Your path forward, guided by eternal wisdom. Marcus Aurelius's words are not merely historical curiosities. They are living lessons that, if embraced, can shape every chapter of our own lives. 3 key takeaways stand out: acceptance of what cannot change, deliberate action towards virtue, and the transformation of adversity into growth. To integrate these into your future, start setting 3 concrete goals. Choose one area where you currently surrender to anxiety, perhaps finances, health, or work-life balance. Draft a plan. Identify what you can control, outline daily deliberate actions, and commit to reflecting nightly. Use Marcus's mantra, "You have power over your mind, take the control." Remember that resilience is not a fixed trait, but a skill that strengthens with practice. Each time you confront a setback, notice the emotional surge and pause. This pause is the first step to stoic calm. Finally, consider becoming a community of practice. Share your reflections with a trusted friend or a group. The act of speaking about your growth fortifies your resolve, mirroring the emperor's reliance on community. If you're enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more stoicism and resilience. Reflective question: what single commitment can you make right now, within the next week, to practice Marcus Aurelius's concept of turning obstacles into opportunities? Conclusion: the enduring legacy of Stoic resilience. This tour through Marcus Aurelius's teachings has shown how ancient wisdom can power modern personal growth. Acceptance, intention, virtue, rationality, and community are not abstract concepts, but practical tools for building resilience. By applying them as daily habits, you transform the unpredictable into a series of predictable opportunities. In closing, the lesson of the Stoic warrior is simple yet profound. When you meet hardship, you have 2 options: resist and crumble, or embrace and grow. Choose the path that the emperor chose, and let resilience be your constant companion on the path of life. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic guidance. May you walk forward, calm and prepared, knowing that the strength you need is already within.